Let's be honest, when you think about the global semiconductor industry, your mind probably jumps to places like Taiwan or South Korea, right? But today, we're looking at a new player quietly entering the game, Bangladesh. And their strategy? Well, it isn't about building those giant, flashy factories. It's something a lot quieter and maybe a whole lot smarter.
All right, so let's break this down. For years, the myth has been that you need to pour billions of dollars into massive fabrication plants just to get a seat at the table. But Bangladesh, they're flipping that script entirely. Their new reality is all about building a human-centric ecosystem. The focus isn't on the hardware, it's on the people who create the magic.
Look, for decades, Bangladesh has been a total powerhouse in the garment industry. We all know that. But while that's been happening, something else, something much more strategic, has been building beneath the surface. The country is quietly setting the stage to enter one of the most valuable industries in the world, but they're doing it completely on their own terms.
And here's where their location becomes a kind of superpower. Bangladesh is perfectly positioned not to go head-to-head with the giants, but to actually support them. As more companies look for China plus one strategies to diversify their supply chains, they desperately need reliable hubs for crucial services, things like chip design, testing, verification. And that's exactly the role Bangladesh is stepping up to fill.
This really gets us to the absolute core of their entire strategy. It's a fundamental shift in thinking. Because, look, every tech hub needs talent. That's obvious. But Bangladesh gets that it's not just about having skilled people. It's about attracting and retaining global talent. Experts who are incredibly mobile and can choose to work pretty much anywhere on the planet.
So that's the billion-dollar question, isn't it? If you are a world-class engineer, a top-tier project manager, what makes you pick one country over another? It's not just the salary. It's about how easy it is to actually land there and start living and working, right from day one. And the answer is this idea right here, soft infrastructure. Now, we're not talking about roads or bridges. This is all about the human-level stuff. Think move-in-ready housing, offices that are good to go, and legal frameworks that are simple and clear. It's all designed to remove friction, to get rid of all the little headaches so these incredibly valuable professionals can be productive immediately.
So what does this soft infrastructure actually look like in the real world? Well, it really comes down to three practical pillars. All of them are designed for today's fast-moving global workforce. Let's dig into them.
First up, pillar number 1, furnished apartments. Just imagine you're that top engineer flying in for a critical 6-month project. The last thing you have time for is shopping for furniture or figuring out utility bills. Having a place that's ready to live in, that meets global standards, that's a huge competitive advantage for a country. It makes it so much easier for that talent to just say yes.
And the exact same logic applies to the workplace. Furnished, ready-to-go offices mean a team of engineers can land and start creating value on their very first day, not 6 months later after a long and expensive office setup. This massively lowers the risk and the initial cost for companies, especially the smaller ones. It's all about speed.
And finally, you've got pillar 3, which is kind of like the front door to the market, virtual offices. Before a company commits to a full physical team, they can set up a virtual office. This gives them a legal address, helps them handle registration, and lets them test the waters with almost no risk. It's the easiest first step into the country, making a bigger investment down the road way more likely.
And here's where it all clicks together. You can see how each of these pieces, the apartments, the offices, the virtual setups, directly solves a major headache for businesses. The result is this complete system that pulls in talent, gets them working faster, and makes the whole country a much safer bet for investment.
Okay, so this isn't just a theory on a slide deck. Let's look at how this is actually taking shape in the real world, right now. This strategy is being rolled out in very specific, very strategic areas in the capital city, Dhaka. Inside Dhaka, you have these two key zones emerging. On one hand, you have Bashundhara. Think of this as the premium, quality-first hub. It's perfect for R&D centers or regional HQs because it's close to international schools and embassies. Then on the other hand, you've got Uttara. It's right near the airport, and it's all about scale and efficiency. Absolutely ideal for large teams, startups, and offshore centers. Together, they form this perfect, balanced corridor.
So, if they get this right, what's the potential payoff? What does all this lead to? Well, the projections tell a pretty powerful story, one that's built entirely on this foundation of soft infrastructure.
Let's just start with this one number. The goal is to attract more than 6,000 foreign professionals specifically for the semiconductor sector by the year 2040. This isn't just about building up local talent. It's about becoming a true global hub.
And this table really shows you the incredible ripple effect. Look at that jump.
from maybe 25 semiconductor firms in 2025 to over 400. And the demand for furnished offices, it skyrockets. Most importantly, the sector's contribution to the entire country's GDP could climb to almost 8%. That's what a successful ecosystem looks like when you map it out.
This chart just makes that growth so clear. See, it's not a slow, steady climb. By getting the foundation, that soft infrastructure right, the growth just becomes exponential. Once the ecosystem hits that sweet spot, that critical mass, momentum just completely takes over. You can see it in how the curve gets steeper and steeper towards 2040.
So as we start to wrap this up, it's pretty clear that Bangladesh is trying to redefine what success even means in the high-tech world. It's a vision that's really built around people, not just silicon.
And this quote really says it all, doesn't it? Behind every chip design project is a human story. It's so easy to forget that. A project isn't just code and circuits. It's an engineer moving their family across the world, a founder taking a huge risk, a consultant working against a crazy deadline. If you can solve for their needs, you solve for the industry's needs.
So here's the real takeaway. The big opportunity for Bangladesh isn't to outbuild everyone else. It's to become the most efficient, most human-friendly support hub in Asia's entire tech corridor. Success, in the end, won't be measured by how many machines you import, but by one simple question: how easily can the world's best talent live and work here?
Which leaves us with one final thing to think about. In an industry that is so defined by cutting-edge technology, maybe the next great competitive advantage isn't technological at all. What if the next global tech hub isn't built on silicon, but on hospitality?